Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. This is where we say it as it is, and you already know. Femi Ojo is my name, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you. And of course, Evelyn is there. Good morning, Evelyn.
Good morning, Femi.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Good morning, people. Welcome on board. Always a pleasure to have you on the show every weekday. It is Tuesday, the 29th day in the month of October 2024. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, welcoming you especially to this edition of Morning Spring, where we speak to social-political issues affecting us as a people. We speak to critical issues, speak also with critical stakeholders, politicians, policymakers, social advocates who help us have a hang and deeper perspective of the issue at hand. Welcome once again.
Welcome, you are. We take this quick break. When we return, the papers are in, and we are very super excited to let you know what the dailies are for us today in Nigeria. Stay with us. All right, I will be starting from the Nigerian Tribune today, the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Northern governors reject tax reform bill with a rider meet traditional rulers, CDS over insecurity. Tax reform bill. Northern governors rejecting it, and they are meeting traditional rulers and the chief of defense staff over insecurity, especially the insecurity part. That is everybody's concern. That is the way it should be. And blackout. Federal government plans alternative solutions for northern states. Blackout. Federal government plans alternative solutions for northern states. What will that be? Wind, powered turbine, because we are solely dependent on the hydro-powered turbines before and gas-powered. So what is next? And that it's one thing or one situation that no one should be in, especially a region of the country that is a lot of talking points there. And court orders final forfeiture of multi-billion-naira hotel linked to Nouns ex-VC. All right. And Brussels 180 billion naira Magboro power plant kicks off. These are things we like to hear. Magboro is in Ogun State, by the way. Signs power purchase of agreement with IBEDC. And you can see some gentlemen holding some agreement document there. Away from that, police interrogate a reps member over assault on boat driver. That is one person that has become very popular, no, is it popular now? Notorious, actually. I think that's the word. A sitting member of the House of Reps who assaulted, he did that brazenly. I thought, in the initial part of that video that has gone viral, that maybe the situation was hiddenly recorded until he said, go ahead and record me. My name is this and this and this, and this is what I'm going to do to you. I will make you vanish and nothing will happen. Was he drunk? Or that's just the real him talking?
Of course, he was drunk. He was power drunk, Femi. I mean, this is not the first time we'd have situations like that. Remember, Senator Abo, who slapped, a sales rep in a sex toy some years ago. And that issue, after he apologized, that was swept under the carpet. And that was it. He contested again and he won. Save for the court that actually removed him from the National Assembly. This goes to tell you that in Nigeria, anything can happen and people get away with issues like this. Lawmaker breaking the law. I mean, you can't watch that video and not get angry.
Not cringe, yeah.
You cannot.
Especially.
You know, the guy kept asking him, did you just slap me? He said, yes, I slapped you 2 times and I'm going to do it the 3rd time. You know, who are you? Do you know who I am? When people in Nigerians generally start to make that statement, do you know who I am?
I wonder why we go around town with that, do you know who I am? Like somebody who has a memory loss. You know, people just trying to say, do you know who I am? It's like you are forgetting who you are.
Nigerians
and then you are trying to tell us, do you know who I am? Who are you?
In fact, Nigerians made him who he is.
Excuse
so why would you tell a Nigerian, do you know who I am? Sir, I made you who you are. You have no right.
But Ohiolei has been arrested or something.
Yes, by the police.
You know, and then these are the issues as well. We are waiting for the House of Reps all of them signed a particular bill to protest that the speaker wasn't given the national award that it deserves. Almost immediately, we are waiting for all of them to rise to the occasion and speak truth to power. Why are you giggling?
Now, I wanted to know if it's this same National Assembly.
This particular one.
This 10th one.
This Abbas-led House of Representatives.
This one.
This same one. You know, that raised the hand and said, Mr. President, you can't give a speaker, CFR or whatever. It deserved a GCON because of award. Now that one of them have assaulted, openly confessed to say, I will make you vanish. How can you look at your neighbor? Sorry, another human, I make you disappear and nothing will happen. Yeah. Now the question is, how many persons have you been making to disappear? What is the situation? And you know, people just speak and say, the domestic staffs of this man, the domestic staff members are in trouble anytime the man gets angry. Even the wife or the children or somebody. And you know, the man had to even make people of color, you know, to be receiving some shots that they are not deserved. You know what I'm talking about now.
Oh, wow.
Now, moving on, we hope, you know, something good. We are hoping, but Evelyn is already giggling on the matter. But moving on, police interrogate Reps member over assault on boat driver. Interrogation. And I hope the police will not come and say we're investigating, because I'm waiting to see what's there to be investigated. The evidence, the proof is all over, and then somebody will come and call the guy now and say we apologize, and then we give you
it, Femi. For me,
some tubers of yam and some millions of naira.
I mean, that is where I foresee this will end.
I'm not being, and you know, I'm not being human to hear.
I'm not being pessimistic, but I tell you that it will end in an apology. We'll give a public apology to the person and probably pay for damages, and that is all. All
right. You know, and the process of recalling a parliamentarian is even one of the worst. Actually, is even difficult.
This is the time.
Are you recalling a president or impeaching
This is the time where the National Assembly should get to work. If it has to do with suspension. I mean, Ningi was suspended just because he said some things and they said,
he brought the National Assembly under disrepute.
You get. So the National Assembly can use their powers to, you know, put some punitive measures against this guy, to serve as a deterrent to others.
All right. Obaseki, we have improved lives of Edo people, restored hope of youth, and commissions Edo College of Agric Institute to produce largest agric extension workers in Nigeria. And Rivers, CJN summons Federal High Court CJ to be quizzed today. Indicted judges to no fate this week. And Southeast lawmakers may move to block screening of ministerial nominees. Say Ogun with 4 ministers is a violation of 1999 Constitution. That's all from the Tribune.
All right, from the Tribune newspaper this morning, we head on to Daily Trust newspaper. Daily Trust newspaper. Yes, the big, bold headline here says, Northern governors, monarchs, reject tax reforms bill. With 3 riders, seek immediate restoration of power in region. Almajiri out of school children are core problems, says Sultan, and our leaders have to do more, says ACF. I mean, the North is having it hot. I know naturally it's always hot in the North, but this kind of hotness, or heat rather, is caused by the non-availability of electricity in that part of the country. And I actually read a post on X by Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, calling on the government to do something or find alternative measures to ensuring that there is electricity in the north. And, I'm asking, is this the first time that people out there noticing that our electricity situation in this country is nothing to write him about? But because it has hit the core north, everyone now has a voice to speak against the epileptic power supply. This time around, it's not epileptic in the north, it's dead in the north. But we hope that those at the helm of affairs will actually heed this call and get to action. People talk about alternative measures to be put in place. The hut has lots and lots of sun. Like I said, there's lots. You can make use of solar in the north because, of course, the sun there, someone says the sun is wasting. Yeah, so we should put it into good use. And this is the time for those at the helm of affairs begin to think outside of the box so that we can have, good electricity supply, not only in the north, but all across the country. Yeah. We'll restore electricity to northern states in 5 days. Federal government says, and the countdown begins. Still on Daily Trust newspaper this morning, Rodri, Bumati, 2024 Ballon d'Or winners. These actually stirred up some controversy yesterday across social media. A lot of people were expecting Vinicius Jr. to take home that particular recognition. But, but Rodri actually got that. Femi, do you think, because people are saying, oh, they would never want a black man to have this and that. No, do you think this Ballon d'Or was well given and well received?
It's a voting category, by the way. And so after some time, I think the results should be out. They usually show the voting pattern. So, but sometimes, when something doesn't go the way you want, people say it's Ojoro. That's just it. But I think Rodri had a fantastic season. Actually, they won the league and they did well. And but Vinicius Jr. was so instrumental to the Champions League won by Real Madrid and the league title they won as well. And he did very well for his country in Brazil, although they didn't win anything. So some flares, Brazilians are known for their flares and all of it. But then we'll wait to see the voting pattern when, and by the way, this is not from FIFA. This is from Sporting magazine. They are the ones who usually organize the Ballon d'Or. So we'll wait to see how the voting pattern, when. That's it. All
right, we'll wait to see. NAF airstrikes eliminate scores of terrorists in Borno. Police grill lawmaker over assault on Bolt driver. Top corner, Daily Trust newspaper this morning. FCTA begins clamp down on beggars, arrests 15. Femi, let me just quickly bring this in. A lot of people have been asking why these beggars should be arrested. They're out there trying to make a living. Yes, the sites might not be good, especially for the image of the nation's capital, but should we toe the line of arrest of these beggars or try to see how we can make life better for them? These are the questions on the lips of people out there.
I think it's a conversation that we should widen beyond, the FCT minister seeing them as a nuisance. I think maybe there should be a designated place for them or something. There is a particular area that you should not see them, not the whole of the FCT. And by the way, many persons will say maybe some of them are professional beggars, as that's what they do. Even if you give them a business or something to do, they won't still do. But there are some that the situation, the policies of the government have added to that pool of beggars. So what will you have them do? I think there is a Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster somewhere, poverty alleviation or so.
Disaster management.
I think they should work hand in hand with the FCT minister. The thing is, he's Stone. Wike Stone as a person is always dictatorial. He's, even when perhaps, assuming without consent that he has good intention, the way he says it, will make you to look like we are not in a democracy. You understand? There's freedom of movement, all of those things. But then in civilized world, the center of the nation will not be a place plagued, excuse me for that word, by begging and beggars. You know, these are the way it's done. But then there should be a holistic approach about what should we do to address this situation. Okay, is there a way you can give them some things, put them on some trade, the ones that are artisans, what can we do for you? And if those kind of people will leave those things and still come back to beg, then you should be able to round them off and say, please, round them up and say, leave this place. But it's not just about all of you that are begging, I don't want to see you here. It will look like the government doesn't care about anybody. So it should be an expanded conversation. What can we do for you? And when we've done this thing for you, we don't want to see in this particular place. Nobody will go to New York and all you want to see, they are there as well. They are homeless in the US, in the UK, everywhere, in the surface of the earth. But if that is the site that greets you anywhere you're in the Federal Capital Territory, then it's not good enough. And the conversation should be widened.
Of course. Bandits kill 4 farmers in Sokoto. Nasani Imose roll out made in Nigeria laptops, tablets. That will be all from Daily Trust. And of course, for this section of the newspaper review, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll speak to issues. Do not go anywhere. Morning Spring, we'll be right back.